Hi, welcome to the Crypto Republic. Before we dive in, if you're serious about staying ahead in this once-in-a-lifetime financial shift, make sure you like this video, drop a comment, and subscribe to the Crypto Republic. This is where we break down the insider moves, the market mechanics, and the truth about XRP that nobody else is telling you. Stay informed, stay early. All right, guys, buckle up because today's video isn't your usual XRP chatter. I got something absolutely insane to break down, something so explosive that if you're holding XRP, you might not sleep tonight. We're talking about a fresh insider leak coming straight out of Ripple with whispers that XRP's price could one day be, and I quote, beyond belief. Yeah, you heard that right. So if you've been sitting there wondering whether XRP is just another crypto project or whether it's actually being engineered to handle the next evolution of global finance, stay tuned because I'm about to show you why the big players are circling, why trillions in liquidity are getting lined up, and why XRP may end up being far more valuable than anybody outside the circles realizes. Let's start here. Every week, Ripple's dropping updates, announcements, amendments to the XRP ledger. And if you're paying attention, these aren't just little tweaks. We're talking about massive infrastructure upgrades designed for one thing: institutional money. Think about it: identity, credentials, permissioned exchanges, tokenized standards. These aren't the things you roll out for retail traders. This is compliance-grade infrastructure, the kind of stuff Wall Street central bankers and asset managers demand before they even think about dipping their toes in. Here's the thing: none of this works out without stablecoins. Stablecoins are the backbone of tokenization. They provide a liquidity layer that makes everything from stocks on chain to real estate tokenization actually function. Picture this: trading Apple stock on chain 24/7 with instant settlement, or borrowing against a portfolio of tokenized bonds in real time. That's the future, ladies and gentlemen. That's the future Ripple is building toward, and guess what? Stablecoins are the fuel that power the whole engine. Without them, liquidity dies. With them, you got a trillion-dollar financial system humming on the XRP ledger. Now let's talk about institutional DeFi. Look, retail DeFi was just the test run. Liquidity pools, lending protocols. But institutions, they're about to run the exact same playbook except with trillions of dollars instead of a few million. Liquidity pools filled with tokenized treasuries, bond markets on-chain, real estate-backed lending. And guess which ledger is being fine-tuned with compliance rails and zero downtime since 2012? Yeah, that's XRP Ledger. Now, I don't want to just throw hype at you. Let's look at some numbers. We're talking hundreds of millions already locked into real-world assets on XRP Ledger. Private credit and tokenized U.S. treasuries are surging. Even niche assets like tokenized equities and real estate already going live on-chain. Every single time these assets move, XRP is sitting right there as the bridge asset, the grease that makes the machine work. This isn't speculation. It's happening already. Okay, here's where it gets real spicy. In a closed-door Ripple session, one that wasn't meant for the general public, an insider casually dropped the phrase, XRP will be unbelievably expensive. Now, let me be clear. This wasn't a price prediction. It wasn't $10 or $1,000. But what it was a direct acknowledgement that the role XRP is being engineered for cannot be matched by its current price tag. If you're building infrastructure for trillions of dollars in global liquidity, you can't have native settlement asset sitting at pocket change valuations forever. It just doesn't add up. Here's the kicker. When institutional DeFi blows open, and it will, this isn't about millions or billions anymore. We're talking about multi-trillion-dollar flows. And where is that money going to live? It's not going to scatter across hundreds of meme tokens. It's going to consolidate on a few battle-tested networks. The XRP ledger has 12 years of built-in compliance features, stablecoins, assets, and bridges. That's why Ripple keeps hammering institutional DeFi. They know exactly where the flood is headed. Here's the part nobody wants to talk about: banks. Do you really think the world's biggest banks are going to let Ethereum, gas fees, or Solana outages dictate trillion-dollar operations? There's not a chance of that. There's no way. They need predictability, compliance, stability. And the XRP ledger is quietly stacking all of that, amendment by amendment, partnership by partnership. This is why Ripple isn't playing the hype game. They're not chasing retail headlines. They're quietly aligning with central banks, regulators, and payment corridors. Because when the switch flips, they want institutions ready to go on day one. So here's where this comes back to you. If XRP is the bridge asset for institutional money, If it's the grease in the machine for trillions in tokenized assets, then its price can't stay where it is. That's why the insider phrase matters. XRP will be unbelievably expensive, not because someone at Ripple is pumping a price target, but because the math doesn't lie. You can't have a global settlement asset sitting at the same valuation as a meme coin when trillions are running through it. You just can't. At some point, the numbers have to converge with reality. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the breakdown for today. The insider leak, the institutional rails, the trillions in liquidity, the real-world assets, all of it converging on the XRP ledger. The question is really simple here for you all. Are you positioned for when the rest of the world wakes up? Because next few months could be the most important in XRP's history. If this opened your eyes, smash that like button, leave a comment with your thoughts, turn on notifications, ring that bell, and most importantly, subscribe to the Crypto Republic, bringing you the truth about XRP, global banking moves, the wealth transfer already unfolding. Don't just watch history happen. Stay informed, stay ahead, and stay in the Republic.